Ooh. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tobrise from the Amateur Football YouTube channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Please put in your comments. But you know what? Let me stop waffling. I have someone who I admire. When I call him Captain Marvelous, I actually really do mean that. This guy will literally run through a brick wall, literally. And if you kind of see his face, then like you'll kind of understand. But yeah, before I introduce him, I'm gonna show you a quick video.
Paul, quick question. So how did you find the People's FC?
Carl asked me to play. Such great charity. You know, we're doing it for the people. There's so many people out there that need help, and this charity decides, you know, we're spending the money to help these sort of people. So, only one word: up the people.
Yes, Paul, love that.
When we get the ball, make sure we come to the ball and it sticks with us. They're gonna go up your ass. They're gonna kick you. That's what old men do. That's what I do. I know how they're going to play it. Yeah, you're going to get the kicks, but we are quicker than them. Let's move the ball quicker. Let's get the ball in the box, and we need to finish our chances. We've had a few chances, and we're snapping. You know, when you get a chance, put your foot through in. He hasn't really had a save to make.
Well, to be fair as well, not being out of disrespectful to the goalkeeper. Like, he looks okay, but I think if we do hit a good shot, it's bound to go in.
Paul Ray, People's FC captain. How are you doing, sir? Okay. Can you not hear me? Paul, can you hear me? I think you have to unmute. Are we having technical difficulties already? Paul is on mute. Mute mic. Paul, can you like hear me? No? You can't hear me? Oh, Paul is gone. Paul, all right, Paul. All right. Come back to me. Come back to me. So I've got Paul Ray, captain of People's FC on the Amateur Football channel. Again, this guy bleeds football. He kind of bleeds grassroots football. And yeah, we will literally be talking to him about his journey thus far. And yeah, you know what? We will. Okay, he's coming back on. Hello.
I'm back.
You're back. Paul, how you doing, sir?
I'm not too bad. You're right.
Yes, I'm good. Yes, I'm good. I'm not too sure if you kind of saw my intro, but you know, again, I just kind of told everyone that you was kind of Captain Marvel. You will literally not even walk. You will run through a brick wall for anyone, and also once people see your face, then people will understand. Yeah, you know, again, thank you for coming on to the Amateur Football Show. How you doing, sir?
I'm all good. Thank you for inviting me. All good.
Cool. Good stuff. So, already in the chat, we have the People's FC, we have Selk as well. So thank you for everyone tuning in. Please put in your questions. We will answer them as promptly as we can. But let's kind of go straight to it. Let's kind of talk about your football journey thus far.
Oh, well, what the old 30-odd years. I think my first, what I can remember, first football game was when I was about 8, 9. The old little leagues when they were around. I was born and raised in Kingston, Surrey, and they had Kingston Little League. And I can remember sort of starting off my career, as everyone does, as a fullback. I think everyone starts as a fullback when they join Little League and that. And then I went up front one year, scored a few goals, and kind of carried on ever since. Went from Little League to sort of playing men's football, had a few trials here and there. Then ended up playing Saturday League in Kingston for about 10 years, 15 years. for a team called Kingston Albion. Great bunch of people. It was run, it's a pub team, but it had 3 or 4 different teams. And it was the enjoyment afterwards going into the pub. Afterwards, meeting everyone, having a laugh. Competitive league as well, brilliant. And then sort of, how long ago, about 18 years ago, I moved over to South London. Just before the birth of my oldest son, Dan. And I ended up playing for a team quite well known around here called Crofton Albion. So played in their their reserve team, first team, won cup finals, county cup finals, leagues. I was a late developer for Sunday League, if you want to know the truth. It wasn't till I was like a few seasons in with Crofton Albion. Someone said, "Oh, do you fancy playing on a Sunday?" I was like, "Yeah, why not?" Sunday morning, at the time the boys were asleep, so I thought come and play. And since then, I've sort of enjoyed it. I've only had about a year out through a knee injury, ACL reconstruction. Kept me out of the game for a year, but next season I was back playing, and yeah, I've played since, and I've moved on from Crofton Albion. For this season, I've gone to Team Red Velvet, who are in the Bromley League on a Saturday, and a couple of seasons ago, I joined the Peoples. I met Kai on a Saturday team. He was looking for players, and I said, "Look, I'll come play for you." Played in defence. I think I scored a goal in about 18 minutes on my debut, and yeah, since then I've played more or less every single game. But yes, that's probably just summed up my sort of footballing journey from like 30 years into about 10 minutes.
Wow, amazing. Yeah. And when did you become captain of the People's FC?
It was beginning of last season. They had a sort of people come and go through teams for whatever reasons, and maybe it was more to do with I was probably the oldest head there. I think when you look at a captain, you look at someone who drives the team forward, but in a respectful kind of way. And hopefully where I've been playing, I've got quite a lot of respect for the teams I've played against and the referees as well, who sort of referee our game. So I think it's more to do with sort of my leadership, and I like to think I put everything on the line when I play football. Yeah. To drive forward. You look at the captain for inspiration, and when you see someone putting in a big challenge or something like that, or getting stuck in, then it kind of raises the team a little bit. And yeah, and since then I've sort of fortunately enough won sort of cup finals with the Peoples, and picking up trophy, including the Westford Div 5 Cup, a couple of months back. So yeah, it's been brilliant. I've sort of moved from, as well as captain, sort of being part of the management team in the Peoples. Kai and Roger, absolutely fantastic how they've set the club up. Had so many ideas, but I think I'm sort of the old head who helps sort of move it along. Let's get the basis, let's get the foundations right for the club, so we can build on it. And all we're going to do, the club's just gone bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's brilliant. Meeting sort of people like yourself. I wasn't into sort of YouTube, or YouTube weren't really around when I was a little bit younger. Yeah, so it's only been sort of the last couple of years, especially with the Peoples, I've been watching and getting into sort of the YouTube and watching the teams and content writers, creators like yourself, that are probably raising the profile of grassroots football, especially on the Sunday League, more than sort of it ever has done.
Yeah. I mean, something that I found, I think before you came, Kai was playing and he was managing, and he probably even can even admit that he found it difficult because he was managing his friends, so like his friends knew what buttons to press, etc. The moment you came in, you kind of brought that experience. You didn't know anyone, so you could literally tell people exactly what they were doing right and doing wrong without any kind of bias thought. And again, the People's FC are still a very young team, so you kind of brought that kind of glue, that kind of togetherness. Stop playing as individuals, play play as a team, and we will win more games than we lose. I mean, is that right?
Yeah, I think that the team was young. You know, they were mates from another team, and you know, Kai put them all in, and you know, and I think we said this before. You know, it's very hard on a or on a match day for the break between a friendship and being a manager of a team. When sort of between, say, Sunday between 9 and 12:30, I'm not your friend, I'm your manager, so treat me like a manager. Afterwards, we'll go in the bar and we'll have a sort of drink as a friends afterwards. And I think that's what was kind of missing, or what people were probably having the problem with Kai having that kind of management, because I don't think they could break from the being a friend or a really good friend to Kai to it's a Sunday football match, I'm the manager. So sort of I've come in, I'm quite a straight talking guy, say it as it is kind of person. But then obviously now with Mikey coming in, who's kind of the same, it helps. And I think we've seen the evolution of the peoples from this group of young people who are raising money to this team now, or club that's winning trophies, that's helping the community and raising money to bigger and better things.
Yeah, amazing. So before we go on to our kind of next point, we've had Lou that said big up to captain, and we've also had Andrew coming back saying he's a bit too old to have to do with social media. Listen, you know what? Again, we are literally around at the same age, and you know, again, I kind of still think that, you know, we are young enough to actually embrace social media and literally embrace the change. Because again, you know, people look at us as the kind of older players, or like the older people within a very young and vibrant scene. So you know, it's really important that yourself, Paul, myself as well, I kind of continue to evolve and, you know, and literally continue to like use social media.
Yeah, I never probably since I've been with the Peoples, I didn't have a Twitter account, I didn't have an Instagram account. I had Facebook, and that was it. But being sort of with the Peoples and sort of being around sort of the younger generation, I've kind of learned and started to use social media in a way to sort of A, express myself, but B, sort of try and help people out there as well. I don't want to see anyone suffer at the moment, and I think by, you know, I even put a message out the other day saying, look, Christmas is a really bad time. If anyone's alone at Christmas due to the pandemic, just drop me a message, you know. So it's really important that social media has grown, and that is how the world is going. And maybe the older generation, you know, old people with technology, as people say, you know, we just get used to it. But it's, you know, it's a great tool. I've met a lot of people who I wouldn't have met through social media as well, all across the country, with mutual respect. Well, I hope anyway. So.
Yeah, no, great stuff. So before we move on to our next point, I just want to share a quick video that will introduce what we're going to be talking about next.
As a male, you don't really like talking to people, especially when it comes to sort of deaths, and you know, you want to show a face, you want to show that you're mentally strong. Well, it's fine to talk. You know, you can talk to. There is people out there who's talking. Don't be quiet. You know, I've seen what it does to affect to myself. You know, I've seen it affect other males who've lost children. You know, unfortunately, some people have lost their lives taking it because they can't cope. It's hard. You know, this world brings a lot of ups and downs. The ups are great, but when it comes to the downs, you know, you can hit rock bottom. I hit rock bottom a few times. You know, when you don't think there's any way out at all. There are ways out, you know, there are people to talk to, there are help available. My suggestion is don't go quiet, you know, there is help, and it's okay not to be
okay. So mental health, it's actually, you know what I mean, can you, if it's kind of okay for like you to like talk about your like story and literally how it's affected you and certain things that you are doing now to actually kind of get through the difficult days?
Yeah. 13 years ago, I was unfortunately to lose a son through stillbirth when my partner was then 39 weeks pregnant. It was very, very difficult time. Didn't have many people to talk to. Didn't know who to talk to, how to talk to it, and kind of went through a bit of a downward spiral. My life had stopped, my world had stopped, but the outside world didn't. It carried on going. I went through sort of depression. I went through sort of the ways that people do through the drink, trying to find the answer of what happened on the bottom of like a JD bottle. And looking back to it now, I could see that there was people to talk to. Maybe I was just a closed book. People say it's difficult for men to open up a lot more than it is maybe for women. But, nowadays, it's not frowned upon thinking that you're weak to talk. It's okay to talk, So sort of for me, as I said, I went downhill, sort of had the breakup and, looking for answers why I had lost my son. Yesterday was 13 years ago. I actually buried him as well. And the only way I was getting around was football. I got onto the pitch for the 90 minutes or however long I lasted on the pitch for was my saviour from what was happening. It was just go out and play football. Even to this day, I really haven't really spoken too much about it. That video was probably the longest I spoke to anyone about how I felt. And that's part of the people's as well, making me open up. People there want to listen and want to help. So it was a bad time. It will always affect me, but I can use it in a positive way now to help people who I've seen suffer on any not like just losing a child, but losing anyone. I'm here to talk to. I can't say I'm sorry enough for people who lost people through this pandemic or whatever reason. But I'm using it in a positive way. I've been through it. I want to use my experience to make sure no one or help people don't go down that same route I was going to, or I was going, or I'd done.
Yeah. And are there any things that you would advise anyone to do? Male or female, that literally helped you get through that process. And let's take football out of it. Is there anything that you can kind of give anyone out there?
I think I'm frozen.
Are you frozen? I can hear you loud and clear. Technology is something else. Oh, hello? Can you hear me, Paul? No, it's frozen. I think while Paul is trying to figure that out, Craig has said. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Paul, can you hear me? Well, technology nowadays, the hamster has actually stopped working. Has Paul gone? So so Andrews comes. Paul is without a doubt one of the best blogs I've ever met in grassroots. Definitely honest and clean hide, 100%. I've had many conversations with Paul, and he's a very straight talker. Everything that he says, he 100% is genuine. Craig as well. Can't wait to be back on the pitch with you boys. Craig, people have seen need you back. You are an absolute beast. But yeah, Paul is something else. You know, his kind of story. I mean, you know, I've got two kids, and you know, I can't even imagine how he would have felt at that particular time. And you know, that really would have affected me 100%. I kind of have my he's back in. Hey.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem.
In the ends of the world, I am.
So. Yeah. So my kind of question was besides football, I mean, is there anything that you can tell anyone out there that's kind of going through any kind of you know, troublesome times that like you could advise people to actually do?
Yeah. If you're in the fortunate situation that I've been through, there's groups out there. I want to big up Sands. I'll be very honest with you. Sands as a group have mentors who will come and talk and help and sort of help deal with the loss you had and the next steps. Because I think not knowing the next steps was the worst. Understand? I didn't know what to do next. If you're still struggling, there are other people like the Samaritans all out there to call, you know. But as I said, with social media, there's so many people who are very open to talking to you. Sands, you know, they've created a football club now in Kent and other places, you know, who especially for sort of dads who have lost children like myself. But I'd suggest, you know, you're not alone. Don't think that you've got no one to talk to. You know, even if you want to come and message me, there's groups and support out there for you. So please don't if you ever feel alone in any situation, go and talk to someone, please.
Andrew from Selk said Paul is without a doubt one of the best blokes I've ever met in grassroots, honest and clean-hearted. And I have to echo Andrew's comment as well. We've had numerous chats, and again, you are one of the only people. Well, you know, I'd say very, very few people who I know, and this is like a genuine statement that literally wears his heart on his sleeve with how you play and also what you say as well. Like, you know, everything that you say, I believe 100%. Like there isn't a doubt, you know, and you know, I literally have to commend you for that. 100%.
No, I appreciate it. I think for me, you know, I've gone through all this, I've learned a lot about myself, and I think, you know, to be true, to be honest, I wear my heart on my sleeve. Say you can see what emotion I am by my face. You know, I could be happy. You know, if I'm happy, I'm quiet. You know, something's bothering me. If I'm annoyed, you see my eyes pop out. But you know, I just like to sort of treat people how you want to be treated. You know, this we're going through a world at the moment where everyone's all in uncertainty through the pandemic, and if everyone could just be, you know, even just a tiny bit nicer to someone, this will make everything a little bit better. So, you know, what I try to do is treat people how I want to be treated. You know, and I think that's to be a role model for my sons as well, especially like Lucas, who lives with me. You know, I want for him to treat people how he wants to be treated.
Okay. No, perfect. So before we go on to the next topic, I just want to share a quick video with the viewers out there.
Unbelievable. We made it hard for ourselves today. Didn't play well. Scored a good goal, sat on it a little bit. But in the end, it was deserved from last year. You know, you can see what it means to a lot of the players, it means to the people. Amazing achievement. Really happy, really proud. And we can only go for bigger, better things for this. Hopefully another result and another trophy this season. But for the people, and let's go.
So that was a clip from the final. But let's kind of talk about the People's FC being nominated for the Content Awards. Let's kind of really delve into like the kind of process. And again, I want you to tell the story rather than me kind of like talking to you.
Yeah. Again, it's something I haven't really known about, sort of the Football Content Awards, a national award recognising people, clubs who are doing things to promote whatever it is. For the people, we're in the category of best campaign against people like the Brad Lowry, who won, against the EPL, Premier League, and the Rainbow Laces, against the Championship and their Mind scheme. It was massive, and for us to be nominated against these massive campaigns, which are backed by millionaires, which are backed by people who have got sort of money backing behind it, and for us, who are the peoples who have only got where we are through ourselves backing, through our opposition, through games. It was really like we're a little pebble in a big ocean. To be nominated was amazing as it is, but to sort of hear that we had won silver to become second only to Brad Lowry.
Wow,
that is an amazing achievement. And there's a lot of people who have their own thoughts about the club. As you get bigger, you get a lot more haters. Whether they're jealous or whatever. We just carry on doing what we need to do. We don't need to get involved in petty squabbles. We don't have to prove anything to anyone. We know what we are. We know why we were created. We're here to raise money for the charities, to try and help whoever we can. And that was recognised. And I said, beating people like the Premier League and the Rainbow Laces, the Championship and their Mind campaign, it's mind blowing. To become silver, to get silver in it. People say, "Oh, why are you celebrating becoming silver?" I don't think people understand how big it is to us. From a concept which Roger and Kai started 2 and a bit years ago. Filming your game, filming sort of what's in your locker with yourself. To now coming up through where we just released a video yesterday. Where we've got a drone cam, we've got things on the side. It's massive, and we'll just carry on doing what we're doing. We're not backed by anyone rich. We're lucky to have sponsors. People to sponsor us. But I'm hopefully that we can start moving up, and people are going to recognise who we are for our charitable stuff. And maybe one day we'll get the big sponsor like other sort of YouTube clubs that are out there, and people recognise what we do. But yeah, it's a massive achievement. So proud of the club, proud of the boys, Roger and Kai started it. Proud of Mikey for coming in, moving it. Proud for everyone who's done the videos, yourself, Pluto Pictures, Jerome, and everyone who's done it. It wasn't a single person. This was a big club effort.
Yeah. And one thing I want to say is you mentioned a lot of people, but again, it's very hard to mention yourself. But I have to mention you. I've been in WhatsApp groups, and I know the work that you've done, and these WhatsApp groups were pinging off at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. Messages about this, that, and the other. You have done so much, and I've got to commend you as well. Without you, a lot of things will just not be in place.
I do it because I want to see the club successful. I don't need praise from people. I just like seeing the club get the recognition that they deserve, and it will get recognised in a bigger picture as well. And we're going to move towards that. So maybe because I'm the older head, I've got my business. I know how things are run properly. when it comes to money as well, you know, people are very touchy about where money goes and all that.
Mhm.
I keep an overview of where that goes. You know, I'm very transparent. You know, I'll tell people, you know, what it is, where it's gone, etc. And as I said, the club's got bigger, and you know, it ain't nothing's down to me. All I've done is just help Kyle Ryder and push them in the right direction. You know, I just want to be. I'm a leader on the pitch. You know, I want people to act the way I do, because in that way, you know, you get the respect that you deserve.
Yeah. So you kind of mentioned it before in terms of people probably having negative comments about the People FC. Like how as a club and literally how as individual players do you kind of handle any kind of negativity, and you know, is it kind of something that you kind of talk about within the changing room or within your kind of annual meetings?
I think when we've talked through our sort of management group, you know, as far as I'm concerned, we do what we need to do. You know, as I said, you know, a lot of stuff's on social media now, so you get sort of the criticism, and you know, maybe players and managers and chairmen get criticised, you know, a bit too much. But then some people don't see how hard they work behind the scenes. The platform's there, people have their own opinions, and it's a free world. People have their own opinions, you know. As long as we know what we're doing and we're moving forward, you know, we will advise the players if there is something wrong, or they've done something wrong, or maybe something that they've done that hasn't really shown us in a good light, and we'll ask them to change it. And then, yeah, we'll move forward. We've got club rules, you know, about the way they come across, you know, because more people are interested, more people are going to attach to you on social media. So what you put on social media, you've got to be very aware of. We've got an under-13 team, you know, so you've got to especially be careful of what you put up and how you say for it, because to them you're role models as well. And you know, we got to act professionally, even though we're this grassroots YouTube charity team. You still got to act professionally.
100%. 100%. So we have one comment from Matt Brown. What a lad, Paul. He's not only the best centre back partner I could have ever asked for, but he's such an inspiration and helped me through such a difficult time.
Oh, good man. It's good lad. I hope he gets better as well. He's done his leg. Same with Craig. You know, we've had so many injuries this season. You know, and I wish everyone all back, and you know, when everyone's all playing, you know, this club will go far.
Yeah, and like funny how you could have mentioned Craig putting this can't like wait to get back onto the pitch with you boys. I mean, Craig is one of those players again that plays with his heart. Like there's no second guessing Craig. He's like someone that you want on your side. He's just such a player. So before we go on to the next point, I just want to show you guys another quick video. What scenes? Oh, let me remove you from here.
I'll tell you what. Lucky my son ain't around with this internet connection. He'll go mad.
You know what? I literally just saw you. Oh, Has he gone? Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a bit, you know. I keep moving around the house to find the perfect spot. I tell you, you know,
Oh, so
online gaming. Yeah,
yeah,
my as everyone's kind of aware now, my oldest son is into his esports. He's been doing it from a young age, playing FIFA, and the last couple of years he got really good into it. And then esports has come along, and he last week was the highest UK player on PlayStation 4 on FIFA 21. Amazing achievement considering
amazing.
you got big players like hashtag Tom and people like that, and he's the top PS4 player. Amazing. Maybe it's not the way I probably would have pushed him to go towards earning money. Being an old fashioned kind of man, but again, I think where I've got football, I play. That's his way out. He got bullied at school for 3-4 years. Didn't attend school because he was scared. He got social anxiety. He's been diagnosed with child depression. So for him, it was playing FIFA was his get out. Like, I'll go out and play football on the pitch. He took his GCSEs after doing 6 months' work, and he passed them all with good results. He even got into higher class than the bullies, which bullied him, which goes to show that he had it in him. And it's just it was a problem with people bullying, which is why I've never liked bullies as it is. But he's gone on. He's just grown into this world of esports. He was signed up with a esports team, which he's kind of left now. He's had offers elsewhere, but he's just doing tournaments. He's winning money. He's big on the esports circuit now. So I'm so happy for him. I'm so proud of him because he wanted something. He stuck to it, and I will put, or hopefully we'll put his Twitch thing into the feed down here. He uploads and twitches his or streams his FIFA, but yeah, it's amazing. And the esports platforms just got massive over the last year and a bit.
And yeah, please send me his Twitch handle. I mean, again, how have you actually? What do you think regarding esports now, and literally where it could be in the next 5 or 10 years?
I can see it being a professional sport in its own right. There's people being paid to play these games. It's a job to them. I think the esports, as I said, it's going to become its own sport. It's got World Cups as it is. There's football clubs that are employing esports players to play for him. I mean, he's a Charlton supporter. Actually, between us lot, Charlton rejected him. Didn't say he was good enough to play for his esports. But it's massive. It is absolutely big, and I didn't realise how big the community is. He's playing people across the world. He plays in tournaments that are done from America. He wins them. It's amazing. I think it will become its own sport in its own right, with its own body in whatever way, shape, or form it takes.
And like, do you think football or grassroots football or Sunday league football can actually take pointers from like people who are doing esports?
Maybe the way they act. I think when we're looking at overall bodies, personal views, and this is, not where anyone else is. We can look at a bigger picture, and I think sometimes bodies have their own agenda. And I think if you look at the esports, it's an open to sort of everyone and anyone, whether you're man, boy, woman, child. That you're all treated sort of equally, and not because one boy is getting paid more than someone else. It becomes, it is an equal sort of playing field, whether it's because of you're not sharing the same physicalities or things like that. It's all about technique. So maybe having a look at the way it's run, with the fair share of who's on the board and all that. But I'm no big person about esports. It's new to me. I'm trying to get involved in a way to understand it, to sort of help my son, and seeing if even one day maybe get a people's esport team going. I know we've had one of our footballers took part in a charity tournament and won, which is great. So there's a lot of things, not just football on the pitch. Other things are happening outside. I even seen on Twitter people playing Football Manager, having proper competitive games like that. So as you can see, football's not just being played on the pitch. It's attribution to everything else, and I think it's great. I think it's great for the sport.
And I'm thinking about it now. I can only see it growing, especially in this current climate where grassroots football is being suspended. We don't know when we can officially get out of lockdown. I can only see like that kind of online gaming and the kind of online activity growing, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. Christmas is coming. People probably ask for the new PlayStations or new extras. And even if they haven't, they're probably asking for FIFA 21 for Christmas. And the platform is just getting bigger and bigger. He said, especially where we can't go and play grassroots. Players are now starting to play it, not as well as children as well. And, that side is getting bigger to get away again from sort of not allowing to go outside and play football.
So we've had a few comments. So one from people see was talking about the crowd from the video. Raja Singh, yes, Al Capo Paul, an amazing player as well. And people see have just said big up Dan. Yeah. So yeah, some great comments.
The final, I want to say the crowd was absolutely intense. You can hear them singing and shouting, and they talk about the 12th man a lot. They were the 12th man, and little Lucas, my little star. He's probably one of the main cheerleaders of them. We talk about football for men. Lucas, and I know you did a little bit on your video about Lucas. He was welcomed as part of this family, and he's one of the mainstay pillars. He goes around, he cheers people up, he talks to every single player. Doesn't matter if he hasn't met them at all, or for the 18th time, he'll go and talk to them, mainly about Pokemon and something just to annoy him. But, for Lucas as well, his love for the club and wanting to be every single game, being a mascot, getting involved, wearing our merchandise. That to me makes me proud to know that he wants to be part of something big as well.
Yeah. People's FC is a genuinely family-oriented club. Yeah. And there's like other teams that like may have bigger crowds, but with People's FC, and I can't for the life of me remember his name. I think it's Jamie. I'll like maybe I'll make it up. But the person that's banging the drum, Jack. That guy is just something else. Like him, Rory. Yeah. They will literally sing until the cows come home. They literally bleed the People's FC.
For a group of young men, and I will call them young men, to become attached to a club of such significance in a mental capacity is amazing. We're all here helping each other. We stuck by them. There's players, they say, come and go. There's a load of new players that came in this year. Some from sort of the Saturday team, Cooper, Tommy, Jim, and all that, who've all come over, all bought into the ethos of the club as well. It's amazing. And you can tell we're doing something right when people want to come and join. You know, when people want to ask, when come join. When we have people asking for our merchandise, you know, all the way from Scotland, wanting a top from us. Absolutely fantastic. It can show that we're going the right way. We're not as massive known as some of these other YouTube clubs, but as I said before, we're moving that way. You know, I don't see many of the other clubs win a silver award in the best charity campaign. You know, so it's massive, and you know, all these guys that come and cheer us every single time. You know, we've got nothing but respect for them.
Yeah, and you know, you kind of briefly talked about bringing in new like players. I mean, the bigger you become, of course, like the more interest and like, you know, the more better players, and I say that in quotes, will literally want to join. Like there's like got to be a very fine balance between the players that you have now, the kind of original players, the ethos, and can also growing as like not like only as a club but also as a brand. Is that something that you're very, very conscious about?
Yeah, I think this is why we've at the moment we've got the free men's team, and then we've got the charity side. You know, the charity side, we've kept sort of like the main players who've been playing in charity, but this is why we've got the three other sides. You know, we want to, as a club, like every club, want to win as much as we can. You know, and so by doing that, you got to, if you're moving up leagues, you got to get better players. You know, there's a few times this season we've been found out that it's not been as easy as last season. With all respect to every team we played, so if better players want to come in, that's great. Then it's up to the individuals, including myself, to prove that you've got to stay in the team. You know, I'm 41, 42 next year. You know, I'll prove week in, week out again that I want to play in that team. If there's someone better than me, great. You know, at least I've known I've put as much as I can and I've shown what I can do. But as a brand, if you're getting players, big players, you know, Marius, for instance, who went back to play for Lidstrom this season. You know, when you have players like that who want to come in, it shows that you're doing something right. You know, we've got three teams. You know, we've had players come and go. You know, all three teams are getting stronger as it is. We have a great charity games. You know, it's just as we're getting bigger, more people want to come, and that'll be down to the management side to make sure that they integrate and they learn about the club. Because what we don't want players coming to doing for their own agenda. We want players to come in because they want to play for the peoples and they want to support what we do. We don't want no one to come in and just say, look at me, I'm better and bigger than the peoples, and that is why I want to join. I want to get my face on the camera. That's not what we're about. That's not what I'm about. You don't see me go to the camera when I scored. I turn around, get my position, we start again. We'll celebrate after the whistle. You know, so yeah, as managers, we'll decide, or we'll look at players coming in and make sure they want to be there for kind of our reasons and not just their own.
Yeah, amazing. And any final comments? You know, anything that you want to say to the grassroots community? Just anyone. This is your platform.
Okay, I do want to say a massive thank you to Andrew and Sel Kent. He. You know, we've spoken off camera and off the phone quite a few times regarding how I am situations. He allowed me to play against Sands, which was very emotional for myself. He also attended one of my courses that I run for mental health and completed it. A 6-week mental health level 2 that raises awareness. It's fully funded. You can do it at home. It's on an online course. It takes, I think, 6 to 8 weeks to do. But it's a recognised qualification that, you know, and I think every league and going through every club should have a mental health awareness person to help out. I'd like to thank the Peoples. It sounds like an award ceremony, doesn't it? I'd like to thank the Peoples, you know, for allowing me to join the club and to allow me to kind of express myself as a captain and sort of the management side. You know, grassroots football, this is where football is. This is where you get the nitty gritty of the games. You know, unfortunately, we can't tackle like we used to. 15, 20 years ago. You know what I mean, Tobrise.
I know.
You know, you know what I mean. You know, I'm not talking about the old leg breakers and the old, let them know you're there tackles, but you used to go in for proper tackles. You both used to get up and carry on with the game. But as I say, if that's the way the game's going forward, that's the way the game's going forward. I'm going to be retiring soon anyway. So, we'll see. But no, just like to thank everyone out there for the support as well, not for myself, but for the club. And again, proud as anything to be part of this club. And I thank you, Tobrise, for sort of allowing me to express myself like on this station with you.
Thank you so much. Honestly, Paul, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I know that we will meet up, in like 2020. And again, just kind of seeing the kind of influence that you have had on the People's FC is, again, I'm saying this as a kind of genuine statement. It's been mind blowing. It's been absolutely without you, without your kind of wise words, without your the kind of heart on the sleeve mentality when you talk and when you play, the People's FC would not be where they are. And I know that you don't like to take praise, cool, but you know what? I'm kind of giving you your flowers right now. So honestly, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. And everyone keep safe, please.
Yeah. So guys, thank you for watching. My name has been Tobrise. This is Paul, the captain of the People's FC. Please go on like all of their social media channels and actually watch what they do, like, subscribe, and do all of the good stuff. My name is Tobrise. Have a wonderful Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. I will see you guys real soon.